Hello, fellow arsonists. I got text-to-speech to work. I'm gonna annoy y'all to death with it and choose an annoying voice. Today, I'm going to talk to y'all about my Wings of Fire alternate universe, the Deathstalker AU. Basically, in this, the thought of invulnerability never even crossed Darkstalker's mind as possible. So, instead, he simply made himself much more durable. Thanks to this, a few small critters that made their way into his tomb managed to nibble away at his scales a bit, resulting in scars and exposed bone. The extra layer of pain caused an extra layer of insanity. And he's lost nearly all his self-control, love, and empathy. The first thing Darkstalker had done when he arose and regained his powers was bring his tribe to him. Every Nightwing in all of Pyria, excluding hybrids, had been magically summoned to him. When they all arrived, he also found his own mother among them. That's how he discovered she was still alive. Was that supposed to make him feel more emotion? Darkstalker had brought all his dragons, Moonwatcher and the rest of the tribe, back to the lost city of Night. He'd pulled the chunks of land that had fallen into the sea back up and rejoined them to the continent. Then, he'd enchanted the whole kingdom to go back to how it was in his time. Then they just lived like that for a whole 7 days. They peacefully settled into their new homes, that was, until an assassin went after Darkstalker. He'd barely caught the dragon, although his spear wouldn't have done much damage anyway. He thought of quick death, the assassin that Vigilance had sent after him. He remembered barely dodging, because he'd turned to talk to Fathom. He remembered the spear whizzing right by his neck. A shiver ran down his spine. He came so close to death. Then, and just now. Both by dragons of his own tribe. They can't be trusted. He realized he needed to get them under his control. All of them. But how would he do that? That he'd be sure they'd all get it and it couldn't be removed. Darkstalkers had turned slowly towards the nearby sound of the river, which ran through and supplied water to the whole kingdom. An idea brewed in his mind. By the next morning, every dragon in the kingdom had become an empty husk, robots with no more purpose than eating, sleeping, and obeying their king's orders. Darkstalker heard Moonwatcher, who he'd commanded to follow him everywhere, land on the palace floor behind him. He turned to look at her and smiled, the white-eyed. Obedient Dragonette never complained anymore. She just stared blankly, following him and awaiting her next orders. That was how everyone was, except himself. But something still felt empty, missing. It was the dragons of his time, wasn't it? He remembered loving Clearsight. Maybe he wanted her back. He didn't notice that back then, he genuinely loved her. Now it was just, I loved this dragon once, so I probably still do. Without any genuine, real feeling. He could bring them back, couldn't he? He knew that animus power couldn't bring back the dead. But maybe that was just a myth. Besides, he was Darkstalker. He could do anything. Darkstalker had commanded Moon to wait inside the palace. While he was gone, now he stood beside the river, running one talon through the water. He picked up one small river stone, nothing special. I enchant this river stone so that when I drop it, it will bring back to life every Nightwing from my time, excluding the royal family. Their memories, appearances, and personalities the exact same as the day before my imprisonment, he thought for a moment. Then added, and Fathom, bring him back too. Why did he want Fathom back? Was it to punish him? Yes. Darkstalker told himself. That's what it was, wasn't it? Then, the large black dragon dropped his stone with a small ploop in the water as it landed in the river. Then Darkstalker's senses went underwater, too blurry to perceive anything. When he regained his perception, He saw an army of black dragons before him. One thing was different, though. Was that why they said bringing a dragon back from the dead is impossible? These dragons, their bodies were decomposing. Deathstalker assumed maybe that was why they said the spell wouldn't work. Because it hadn't completely regenerated their bodies, it seemed. Random chunks were removed from their scales and exposing bone. Deathstalker slowly reached a talon up and touched the side of his own face that was decomposed. Yes, he thought. A smile cracking across his face as he overheard his confused crowd's terrified thoughts. These are my dragons, perfect to serve me, Deathstalker thought. And that's where I'll leave it off for now. You are now temporarily spared from whatever awful cringiness this is. I hope the text-to-speech voice was extremely annoying. Part 2 out soon. Bye.